Primal Chaos.
Hey guys, Primal Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Enchroma Glasses. Enchroma makes corrective lenses and glasses for people with all kinds of color deficiencies. So if you're colorblind or you know someone who is, check out their website. And if you use the code CHAOS in checkout, CHAOS, you'll get 10% off. Tell them Primal Chaos at you. All right, guys. I heard you. One of my DIMASH videos went live recently, and all you guys wanted to talk about in the comments was the story of One Sky. And from what I understand, this is a very DIMASH-centric music video in that he had so much more to do with it. In fact, he has a lot to do with all of his stuff, but in this case, I think this was sort of his magnum opus personally. So all I hear about is really good things. I have no context. I really don't know what it's about or anything like that or how it differs from his other work, but people just seem to want to talk about it. So that definitely tells me something. If you're new to this, I imagine this video is probably going to attract a whole bunch of new viewers. The way that it works around here is I typically will stop and pause the video from time to time. So just bear with me. I always go back and respect the material and try to get the lead up again so that I don't lose momentum and stuff like that. But just be aware that that's something that's going to happen. And it's all part and parcel with ethically doing reaction videos. You have to alter the program material to a degree. Otherwise, it's not really legally fair use. And so I like to always do the right thing by the artist and the record labels and obviously my channel as well. So I will be stopping and talking about things and discussing my thoughts and stuff throughout as well. So just bear with me on that one. But other than that, let's just jump straight in. DIMASH, the story of One Sky. I'm excited. Are you excited? Tell me if you're excited. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. Cinematic. I love it when music videos are cinematic like this. Even at this point, the audio is spectacular. The stereo image, you can hear the waves and that sort of low rumble. It's really palpable. I wonder if that's a young DIMASH. I wonder if that's supposed to represent him. Sort of has similar features, you know? That was an intense opening, I gotta tell you. Interesting. Lyrics by Lilia. I missed it. This is so beautifully shot. It's remarkable. Such a great location too.
Can't believe what's happening at all. Hyper's crazy, we reborn to fall. We are the reason we're causing all that pain. To the secret one that gave us life. Billions of hearts, billions of cells and souls and dreams, billions of lives shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror. So tears and blood, one for louder.
order and protect my country, but I don't deprive you of your freedom. The world is open for me, and I want to give it to you.
Oh, wow. Okay. I think that's probably a good place to stop. Okay, so, wow, there's so much to unpack. First of all, I mean, visually stunning, but I love... DIMASH has this beautiful way of opening a song with such a breathy sort of voice and just a really nice cadence. He always has a nice flow, and it just sounds so delicate and stuff. But okay, so opening there, we had the three kids. One of the kids saved the kid I'm assuming is meant to represent DIMASH, because I know he acts in this. In fact, is that even him? That might be him there. And let me know in the comments, is there any significance to the shape of those necklaces? I know that there was people in the comments saying you won't get all of the references. There's a lot of little intricate details in there that stand out to longtime fans of DIMASH. And me being relatively new, I've only really experienced what you've seen on my channel. So yeah, let me know. It's got me tweaking, like looking for things that could be little nods to the fan base, like the deers. But let me know in the comments. But man, wow, so far this is so richly cinematic and so beautiful. Very cool. And obviously the music and orchestration it's as good as anything in the world. It's really sumptuous. I'm just going to jump back a little bit. I'll get that speech again. Kind of took me by surprise a little bit.
My task is to keep order and protect my country, but I don't deprive you of your freedom. The world is open for me, and I want to give it to you.
Can't we balance all that of your regret? Our future, is it possible to say? So when all the crazy neighbors falling, we decide to stop the training. We decide to follow their light.
What a great shot. That was all single camera, the whole bit. So good.
You must be strong to accept freedom and bring it to the world. United, we will enter every city, every house. We will lead everyone who is ready to start a new life. Anyone who resists will not find a place next to us.
We are choosing life. What a strong
War is
concept,
the way to unite people.
Learn to share again. Learn to share again their love, not share. To leap again. We have passed the moment of immension. Walking the peace.
Oh, okay, that's the girl. Okay. Right, yeah. Okay, so that was the kid, yeah. He's not the third kid. Nah.
Don't
Okay, I got to stop it right there. Wow. The thing that was going through my head that whole time is just, I don't know that anyone else could accomplish something this. It's almost like musical theater, right? Except that it's a music video and not like live on stage. But normally you would have several performers performing different roles. And fortunately for DIMASH, he's able to perform all those roles himself. So we go from, like I said, that really breathy kind of open, so delicate and pristine vocals for like that first sort of act or whatever. And then it cuts into, this wartime sort of scenario. And suddenly he's much more stoic and he's got that well-rounded operatic sort of tone. And then we really start to experience DIMASH's range. He does those big dramatic soaring notes. And it's just so perfectly reminiscent of like the most powerful moment just before the third act of something like Les Miserables or something like that, where, everything's on the line and everything's coming at a great cost. And everybody has to sacrifice to survive or to get freedom or whatever it is, And it's just perfectly illustrated in DIMASH's technique and his style and how he's pieced all this together. It's very beautiful. I love how he's tying the storylines of these people through this dynasty. You know what I mean? Very, very cool. I was not ready for this. Sorry, I got to stop it there. Wow. Okay, yep. I knew that was coming. Holy cow. All right. I mean, I can't even remember what I last stopped it at, but it seems like the thing that is so incredible about this so far, we're not done yet, but is just everything is so perfectly executed. And I don't mean that, like, we all know DIMASH is one of the greatest singers of all time. We know that. We know that the composition of the music is always going to be amazing. But it's everything together that's overwhelming. Like that moment when we transition from the war zone sort of stuff into, you know, these refugee types coming through the desert, and DIMASH goes into that incredibly like Middle Eastern inspired operatic vocal that's just so world class. There's nothing. I would posit that there's not another human on the planet who could match what was on offer there, you know, as an original piece. But not only is it great, but it just sets the tone. It just has the flavor and the feel. It's like it rather than this being a song with a music video, it's this combination of cinema and musical art put together to create something that's bigger than the sum of its parts. And there's so much emotion going on, you know, like that was the overwhelming part with the child. But just having the ability to see the patterns and how they come together and to orchestrate such beautiful visual moments, like the juxtaposition of DIMASH lamenting the death of the child placed right alongside his friend giving birth, and you see them both screaming. It's the pain of loss and the pain of new life together in one moment, you know. It's just so beautifully visceral, and it's like, you know, only the greatest films of all time match that in its beautiful, soulful, emotional complexity. And this isn't just a music video that you can be, hey man, my band made a music video, it's pretty cool. This is a statement. This is like an art piece that's just beautifully classical, you know. It's just so, it's like, this is up there with some of the great novels and things like that. It's just an amazing piece of art. Yeah. I don't know too much about the region of, you know, like the Eastern Bloc countries and things like that. But it seems to me that these refugee types that are marching through the desert, are they fill me in the comments, I could be wrong, but it seems like they're from a lot of different faiths. I'm sure I saw like Jewish, I saw a lot of crosses, a gentleman who looks remarkably like Jesus, or at least the Western concept of Jesus. And then, you know, and also I'm certain I saw maybe some sort of a Buddhist representative in there as well. So it's like, it's interesting that these people are all marching together, almost like a world of refugees, all, you know, I guess displaced by war, possibly. I'm not sure, but we'll probably get some resolution on that later. But anyway, I'm going to jump back in. But, I kind of saw this coming, but I kind of wish I didn't. That's terrifying. So this is, I'm assuming this is the guy who saved DIMASH's life at the beginning, right? Again, there's that dichotomy of life and death. Wow. Okay. That was on a whole other level. What a beautiful piece of art. I'm just going to skip back a little bit to something that's not. Oh. I just need some imagery that's not depressing. There we go. Okay, that's a cool picture of DIMASH, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, as I said earlier, it's so amazing. It's such an achievement to have put all of these things together with such a sumptuous visuals, compelling storytelling, that's meaningful as well, you know. And then DIMASH's track, there's some notes in there. Oh, and I love the fact that we got to hear a little bit more grit in DIMASH's voice. Let me know, but I don't think I've ever heard him do anything like that. Those notes at the end where he's just screaming, right? But yet he's really sort of getting grit in there, but there's no detriment to his range or his tone or anything like that. But it's almost like if he might have done that before, but in my estimation, I've never heard that. Maybe he was saving that part of his voice to debut in this because it's probably the only thing he feels like he's done that has the weight that deserves it, right? This is definitely him putting the state of the world as it is right now with what's going on in Ukraine and things like that, and he's taking that and he's putting it through DIMASH's prism of how he sees the world and how he can elucidate us with like his perspective on it, you know. And he comes from a place that's had history with war-torn things and, you know, and a culture of war and things like that in the past and all that. And, you know, all of this stuff is happening in Kazakhstan, which is like below Russia, pretty Ukraine adjacent, you know, like it's like, I don't know what the motivation behind this project was. And, you know, unless DIMASH says something, I don't know that we'll ever know, but to me, it seems like that it's putting that under a microscope in a way. It's kind of reminiscent of, you know, to make a really broad comparison, Michael Jackson would also do the same thing. He was one of the greatest performers and, you know, he loved cinema as well. And he loved making these incredibly cinematic music videos. And oftentimes behind that was a kernel of truth and almost like journalistic sort of push, to tell a narrative about the world at large. Sometimes it was about controversy. Sometimes it was about how the media treats him. Sometimes it was about war and things like that. But he would put that through his Michael Jackson prism and make a beautiful pop video. But it had this undertone of like truth and again, storytelling from the perspective of an individual's perspective. And I mean, that's what art is. Art is taking your reflection of the world and putting it on a canvas or into a song or something like that. And I think when you get that, you distill that down to its absolute essence, you get something like Story of One Sky. It's DIMASH telling us how he feels about certain things in his own way, and he's just created an absolute masterpiece. It's beautiful. He has this way of understanding how to press buttons and how to pull the right strings to make you feel and to make you feel the same passion that he does about things, you know. And I think that's the wizardry. Like, his voice is unquestionably one of the greatest gifts to music that's ever been. But I think it's his ability to push the passion through and to make you feel, feel something, by proxy, right? You sense how much passion and drama he's putting into it. And rather than just watching him perform that, you feel it yourself. And that's the magic of DIMASH, in my opinion. I think that's definitely one of his magic powers, right? Oh my God, it's just, I'm almost speechless. There's very little else to say other than I'd love to hear, what did I miss, guys? What is it, as a bit of a DIMASH rookie, I was told coming into this that there were so many references and things, and DIMASH fans have been going back and forth, or Deers, I should say, going back and forth about this since it came out, trying to figure out all the little nuanced pieces of the puzzle and stuff like that. The other thing too, it seemed like to me that shot at the end of him, putting on the robe and leading all of the refugees up the mountain was sort of an allegory for the character of him dying, and he's leading all of these people who are displaced by war and hatred and intolerance. You know, they're the people, they're on their way to the afterlife, or, you know, across the river Styx or up the mountain or whatever it is, you know, he's like leading them on that journey to the afterlife or whatever. And it's beautiful because, again, it seemed to me that there was, you know, I saw what looked like Indian culture and, you know, Chinese or Buddhist culture, maybe Japanese, whatever, but Buddhist, you know, Jewish, you know, Middle Eastern, Christian, all that sort of stuff. All these people coming together in the afterlife, heading towards the new dawn, you know. And that's just a beautiful message. It sort of sums up the dialogue at the end there about how, like, you know, so much of the world is in pain and it's all due to intolerance and stuff like that. So this was just absolutely stunning. I'm glad I did this. Thank you guys so much for recommending it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think, and also some of the things I might have missed. I know that there's so many of you out there going, why didn't he talk about this? It's like, I'm sorry. This is my first viewing. At some point I'll watch it again and maybe pick up a few more things, but to bullet point it, the vocals were second to none. The orchestration, the musicianship, the cinematic just drama of the entire thing was beautiful. Visually, it's like a Hollywood feature film that, you know, had so many emotive sort of beats in it that just made me feel things that I really wish I didn't have to feel on a channel in front of, you know, thousands of people, but here we are. Yeah, but anyway, thanks again for recommending it, and that's about all I got to say. But if you feel like supporting the channel at all, feel free to just buy me a coffee. I'll leave a link in the description, or you can just hit the thanks button underneath the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Most of the viewers who come and watch my channel haven't subscribed, so now's the time. Click the button and be notified anytime I do anything else like DIMASH or any of these sort of more classical adult contemporary artists. I'll pop up and hopefully you'll enjoy them too. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate you sticking around this long, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay primal. Hey guys, this video was made possible by Enchroma. 1 in 6 guys and 1 in 200 women are colorblind, and if that happens to be you, there's something you can do about it. Click the link in the description. It'll take you to Enchroma's website where you can get a free eye test. And while you're there, maybe pick up some corrective lenses. They've got styles to suit everybody and a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you got really nothing to lose. And while you're there, use the code CHAOS in checkout to get 10% off. Tell them Primal Chaos sent you.